In the last session, we have understand just about the Fortigate terminology, the technology, not only about the just Fortigate. We learn about all the firewalls, what kind of technology they are using to filter and monitor the traffic, right, and create the policies. So what this is our setup lab setup. Okay, we under the VMware. I got a 192, 160, 75, 145, and the same. I am going to log in now. The ID is a admin, password is by default you don't save, and I'm just creating one lab. Okay, this is my new lab, and I required 4 firewall. Okay, so to perform this practical for the basic configuration. Okay, close lab, and I need to add one new lab. Okay, test 100. Okay, so I created this and node, and under this we required some firewall, some router one and a single firewall to understand about the dashboard and that CLI and GUI, the basic setup of this firewall. Okay, so dynamic and how many like R1 or R2, R3, R4 like this. I'm just keeping as a R1 for the all, and I'm selecting as a 4 router. Okay, and save. So I got a 4 router. Okay, with this one R11. We can consider the R11, R12, R13 or R14 we can consider. Okay, yeah. So we required one firewall also, so Fortigate, and that we have one model, any model you can choose. 7.8 stable I'm just using. So this is our firewall. Okay, now simply to get the management, to get the IP, to access this firewall into GUI mode, we require to connect with the one internet service, that is the cloud 0. I'm just selecting. Okay, and selecting with the Fortigate. Port number 1 is for the management, port number 2 is for this router, port number 3 I'm keeping in the top one. Okay, port number 4 and the port number 5. Okay, so how many ports we have in the firewall? Look, we need to increase the port. Okay, so go to the edit and go to this here, and instead of keeping here I'm keeping a 6. Okay, so here we need to keep this one. Got it? So now it is fine. So we need to provide some IP to access to perform the lab. So let's suppose I'm just giving and the keeping a name for this one inside as a lane we can consider. Okay, this one I'm considering as a lane. Okay, this one I'm considering as a lane 2. Okay, lane 2, lane 2 I'm considering, or inside 2 we can say, inside 2. Okay, inside 2 I'm okay, inside 2, and the save it. Okay, so the name of this is our inside, this is our inside lane, this is inside 2 lane. Okay, and this side will be our internet and internet. So to for the better experience I'm changing this image type, so I'm selecting as a cloud, and this is save. Later we required what, we required some IP, and we can consider this one as a DMZ. Okay, what is DMZ? I'll tell you at the end. I'm just giving some IP 192.168.1.1/24. Okay, /24. So for this one, this interface, and the same one duplicate 1.2 I'm keeping. Okay, for this first net 0 by 0, and then we required of this one also. We can consider as a 2.1, 2.1. Okay, and not 2.1. This one will be the 2.1, and not this one only. Okay, this one will be a 2.2. Okay, who's trying to join now? Okay, so 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 this is our 2.2, and this one will be our 192.168.3.1/24. So it will be our 3.1, and it will be our 3.2. Okay, 3.2, and this one will be our 4.1, 192, 192.168.4.1 slash 24. I'm keeping as a 4.1 here. This port number 5, and this one will be our, just make a duplicate and make a 4.2. 4.2, fine. So we need to start all the nodes from more action and start all nodes. Every nodes will start. I'm using, to get the console, I'm using Excel. You guys can also install this. I already sent a image to you. You just install it, okay? R11. So we can consider as a R11 as a R1. R1 we can consider, and R12 we can consider as a R2. R13 we can consider as the internet. R14 we can consider as a our R4, okay? R2, R3, and R4. So let's start the configuration first of the firewall. So the routers. So let's let it be done. Log in properly first. Okay, so R1, R2, R3, and R4. Later, let's start for the Fortigate also. Okay, FG. So R1, what is the IP here? Enable configuration terminal interface first Ethernet 0 by 0 IP address 192.168.1.2.255.255.255.0 and no shutdown. Okay, so R1 is done. Same way R2, enable configuration terminal interface first Ethernet 0 by 0 IP address 192.168.2.2.255.255.255.0 and no shutdown. Okay, R3, the same IP, enable configuration terminal interface fast Ethernet 0 by 0 IP address 192.168.3.2.255.255.255.0 and no shutdown. And the same way R4, enable configuration terminal interface fast Ethernet 0 by 0 IP address is 192.168.4.2, right? And 255.255.255.0 and no shutdown. Okay, fine. So our interface configuration has been done. In this way, every routers has been done. Now we'll go to the firewall and we'll check the what is the IP in the firewall we received. If you log in, okay, so admin is a by default ID, but when you're using a new firewall, then there is no password set. So whenever you're getting the new console, you'll hit the double enter. It will ask for the password. So I'm in my condition. I'm using as an admin. Just a minute. New password admin. Confirm password admin. So system interface. This interface I'm just checking. If you see, these are the interface. Okay, these are the interface, and this interface will this interface is having some IP 192.168.75.140. This which interface port number 1. And if you check the status, okay, mode is a DHCP, right? Rest of the interface modes are static only, correct? So this firewall is getting one IP, okay, from this my internet, okay. So because this is our management, correct? So by using this IP, we can go to 75.143, right? So we can access this firewall. Okay. How we can access this firewall? So let's suppose so system interface ed so system interface port number 1. This is our port number 1. Guys, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So verify. Like, look, this is not every firewall is in interface. We need to enable the services. whether HTTP services, HTTPS, ping, telnet, SSH, every services, if it is enabled under this interface, then only we can able to utilize that particular services. If it is not enabled, then we can't. Like suppose ping is not enabled into the port number 3, then you can't ping from anywhere into your organization. Okay. So if you wanted to check the source system interface, okay, and hit the enter. So if you check port number one is set allow access. So ping service is enabled, HTTP SSS, HTTP, other services are enabled here in the port one, right? Rest, there is no services are enabled in other interface, right? Port number three, port number two, services are not enabled, correct? Got it?
Yes,
Clear?
sir.
So system how to enable the service, I will show you later. So system interface. So what is the IP? 75.143. So 192.168.75.143 is our IP. Once you hit this IP, because HTTP is enabled, okay. So first admin and the admin, you get the console of this firewall, okay. The GUI console, you get it, okay. So now first we'll discuss about the graphical user interface. Then we'll come with the CLI mode. So I will just give you one overview about the dashboard. Okay. So let's begin with me. So this is a dashboard. Under the dashboard, you'll get some security option. What are the securities are enabled? Okay, and the network. Now you can't get much more thing. Once we start configuring, you'll get everything. Okay, user and devices. How many users are connected? How many devices? So you find nothing now. FortiView source. Okay. Then FortiView destination. What is the source? Who is trying to access what? Trying to access kind of things you'll get. Okay. And what kind of traffic it is generating? You'll get it here. Okay. FortiView application, what kind of application using by which user, maximum 30%, 40%, like percent base, you'll get it here. I will show you later. FortiView websites and web policy and many more things are there. It is this option is come by default under the dashboard, but if you check 40 SSL is not there, IPsec is not there, any other monitoring options is not there. To add these, you can go to the status, you can add wizard. Okay, from here also you can add like IPsec. If you wanted to add, you can add. Okay, so I'm selecting add wizard. Okay, and the add wizard. Okay, what is this? IPsec successfully added now. So refresh it once. If it is not coming, you can add monitor. Under this add monitor option also you can get. Okay, the same option you can enable from here. Okay, like this add monitor. So now you can get the IPsec monitoring also. Like that, we have many more things which based on your requirement you can set your dashboard. Okay. Okay, that is about the dashboard. Now come back into the our this side. So this is entire your system information. Like what is the FortiGate, a host name of the FortiGate. What is the serial number of this? What is the version of this? In which mode it is working? It is working under the net mode. I think I forgot to tell you some point here. Okay, the firewall is working under two modes. Okay, packet filtering, that is not, just a minute.
Yes, yes, sir.
Stateful, stateless, this one proxy based, flow based, we forgot to teach about this. So proxy based is a proxy based and flow based. I will show you now what is the proxy based and what is the flow based. I will share this template also after the class, you can learn. Proxy based, whenever that devices, whenever the traffic is entering into the FortiGate in the proxy based, it keeps the data to verify whether it is any threat is there, any virus is there, like that it is holding and it is sending. If suspecting any kind of threat, then it will drop the packet. But in flow base, it will not like that. It will just keep the packet, it will just receive the packet, and it will send the packet on the another interface. Okay, flow based and the proxy based, this is the comparison. I will send it, you can read it. Okay, mode of operation, there is a net mode and the transparent mode. In net mode, we are using as this firewall as a, we can assign IP into interfaces also. But transparent is nothing but it will work like layer 2 switches. In the layer 2 you can't assign IP, right?
Yes.
Like that it will work. We have a one specific um sorry, practical on this transparent firewall. Okay, so no need to worry. So just overview. By default, ID and password you'll get on the new 192.168.1.99. In this 199, you just keep the same range IP to access it and hit this IP into your browser. You'll get the console, put the admin, and it will ask to put the password. Okay, like this in the first one. Okay, so find that now it is about the operational mode is a net. Okay, system time, what is the time now? Uptime since 9 minute 30 31 second, it is live. Okay, like that you can verify. Licensing for the FortiGate support and firmware upgrade, IPS, antivirus, web filtering, like for every services you required one policy. Okay, not policy, that you required one license. Like we are subscribed to, like in Netflix, Amazon, we are subscribing to watch the video, right? To take the services like that, we can also need to purchase a license, and we can just put license, so everything will work. Okay, so virtual machine, this is not in use. So this is our other options. Okay, in the under the status, like FortiCloud, Web Fabric, like for firewall, and the sandbox analyzer, then the sandbox, then firewall manager, like that with the switch and the access point, then Forti extender application, and there is some more fabric devices that if it is connected like FortiGate manager, then it will highlight here. You can watch from here the Forti manager also. Okay, so like these are the options. Administration and the basic hardware utilization are showing here. Okay, got it.
Yes.
Like CLI, we are connected now over the CLI, right? In the same way, you can use CLI here also by clicking this CLI. You just click on this,
Yeah.
and if you check so system interface, so if you have a hit a question mark, you'll get the same output here also, right?
Yes.
So you can delete this entire, configuration also. You can save it. Okay, copy it, and you can record this. If you wanted to record this, whatever that I'm doing, command, everything you can record and you can download, right? Everything
Yes.
you can do there, but you can't do here. Okay, you can't record there. So like that we are having, and after that, what is this is notification if you're getting any. This is the your admin password, admin object, right? Fortigate VM64, the version, and the system. Under the system, you can reboot, shut down, fabric management also you can do, process, monitoring, whatever the packet is processing, you can monitor here. Okay. In the configuration, under the configuration, you can take the backup. Let's suppose I'm changing the name of this firewall. Okay. Just click on this and config system setting. It will route you in the setting. Okay, this setting. Then here you'll change the name like 112. I can keep it at 12. Okay, I saved it, and again I went there. I just did here. Okay, and I took a backup of this firewall in a local PC. Okay, I kept it here, and the download is done. Now I change again my that FortiGate name. Okay, and I keep as a 22. Okay, but I just wanted to run my firewall with the old versions only. Okay, so you can restore from here. Like you can, if whatever you have saved, it is in downloaded. Now you can upload the downloaded from here. Okay, so now we can get old one. Okay, old file. Got it? If you check what is there in the downloaded file, you can copy and do like this. If you check the FortiGate 12, right? The host name is the
Yes.
FortiGate 12, correct?
Yes. Yes.
We change the FortiGate 22, correct now?
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, like that we have. Okay, now it will go for the restart. Whenever you are uploading any configuration, it will go for the restart, and it will rewrite on their kernel. So just a minute.
So we can upload the configuration just by pasting.
We can do like in command prompt, or notepad. You can save your
Yes.
configuration, and you can push it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. We'll go step by step. This is our very initial day. Okay.
Think we don't. There is no like
Just a minute, huh? Just a minute. Be online.
Okay.
Okay, so that is the how to take the backup. Now we need to do the admin and again admin. If you check the password, okay, the host name will become changed. Okay, like 12. Earlier it was 22, right? So it is working with our old configuration. Okay, now whenever you're changing or doing any modification, before that you need to take the backup. Okay, there is a two option to take the backup. Just a minute. There is a two option to take the backup. One is a normal backup. Second one is a with credential, like encryption option is there. When you're using this encryption and keeping 1 2 3 password, I'm keeping here. Okay, and I took a okay, and it will. If you show this, you can't read this. No one can read this, right? Correct. So this is a second option how you can take the backup at the time of restoring. It will ask the same password. If you are putting the correct password, then only it will upload. Okay, like this 1 2 3. Okay, so now we can upload, and again the system will go for the restart. Got it? It will again take time. Just be online. Okay, so once it is done, then okay, then we can verify once again this one. Okay, just a minute. Check the topology whether it is done or not. Okay, refresh it once again. Got it now. We have a multiple option, two option only. You can take the configuration backup in the CLI mode also. Okay, am I audible?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now again we need to log in. Look, password is over change. Okay, so this is the way how you're going to take the backup and the restore the configuration. Okay, then change password and then log out. This is about the dashboard. Okay, now come back to the our firewall configuration first. Okay, now there is this is about the dashboard. Just minimize this. Now we can come second option is a network. Under this network, we can do many things like just a minute. We can do under this network we can get the interface, whatever the interface we are having, like 192.168.75.143. This interface we are getting right, automatic IP DSCP. Got it? So other interface like port number 2, port number 3, 4, and 5, 6 are there. Okay, in this we can assign IP. Like port 2, I need to assign IP 192.168.1.1 is there, right? So I can assign an IP. Like I can keep some, I can give some name inside. Okay, what is the IP 192.168.1.1/24? Okay, so like that we don't need to use .255.255. If you are keeping to 24, it will accept it. Okay, now you just need to allow the ping services in this particular interface. Okay, now just
Yes,
a
sir.
minute, guys. Just a minute. Okay, so this is the way how we can do the how we can enable that IP, how we can configure IP and service enable the IP. Okay, like HTTPS SSH we can click and enable. Okay, like HTTPS I'm enabling and the ping enabling. Okay, like this we can assign the IP into this particular interface. Got it? Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Now I am going to configure IP in the CLI mode. You can configure IP from here also, or you can configure IP from here also. So I'm just going to assign an IP from here. So what is the IP? Config system interface. Which interface? Port number 3. So edit which port? Port number 3. Okay. Set mode static. Okay. Set IP. What is the IP? 192.168.2.1/24, right? And the set allow access the services, ping services or HTTP services you're allowing, that you need to allow it. Okay. Now if you're hitting this, it will hitting this, and if you wanted to save, you need to do end. Okay. But you have a multiple interface and you wanted to save at the single time, you don't want to use config system interface again and again, so you can just jump another interface next by using a next. Okay. Edit which port number? Port number 4. Now 4, right? So what is the port number 4? Set mode static, the set IP 192.168.3.1/24, right? This is the 3.3.1 port number 4, 3.1/24, correct? And the set allow access, what kind of services you are allowing under this interface. So I'm just allowing the ping, HTTPS, SSH, telnet. Okay, every service I allow. Now I wanted to save. Okay, to save it we need to use end option. Okay, to if you don't want to save, you need to put you need to type abort option, or if you wanted to save, it will be so here like this. Okay, so now if you check, so system interface question mark. So port number 1 DSCP, port number 2 and port number 3 we have configured based on the CLI mode. Okay, now if you can check, you'll get the IP here. Now you can close this. Here you need to take a refresh now. Okay, then again it will, the IP will come here. Okay, IP is coming under 3 and 4, right? In the same way we can configure on the port number 5 also. So just go here, CLI config system interface, edit port number 4 5. Okay, set set mode static, set IP 192.168. What is the IP? 4.2, right? 4.1, correct? So 4.1/24. Okay, set allow access, ping, HTTPS, HTTP and telnet. Okay, so like this we can do and save it. So like that we can do. Okay, so again port number 5 we got the IP, correct? Correct now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, if you check all in one. Okay, again admin the source system interface and the question mark. If you hit, what are the, if you without question mark, if you're hitting, you will get all this. The port number 1, what is the services enable? Ping HTTP. Okay, ping HTTPS here also. Port number 2, port number 3, port number 4. Every what is the IP, what is the services enabled, everything you get to know. Okay, clear? Is it clear?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay, now we just wanted to ping from R1 to our gateway. Ping 192.168.1.2. So we are reachable, right? So if you wanted to ping 1.2.1, you can't reach because you cannot reach 2.1, right? This is the port number 3 IP, but you can't reach here because by default policy is a security policy object is a implicitly deny. Okay, if you check here, every packet, every services is in deny mode, correct? So so if you wanted to check that how it is working actually, we have a some command line also. So in the command line you can check. Okay, in the firewall we have diagnose assist, uh, debug, diagnose debug enable, and diagnose debug, flow, filter, source address, anything 192.168.1.1 is trying to read, right? Say diagnose debug, diagnose debug, flow. What is the other option? Flow, filter, or track. Okay, I'm just skipping it. And the end, something like diagnose debug enable is the option where you can check diagnose debug enable. Let me verify the command once again. So we have some command here: diagnose debug enable, diagnose debug flow filter, and diagnose debug flow trace start. So diagnose debug enable, diagnose debug flow, and what is the second command? Diagnose debug flow filter address, diagnose debug flow filter address. What is the IP? 192.168.1.1, right? Now hit the third command. Third command is the diagnose debug flow trace start. Diagnose debug flow trace and the start. Okay, so now end. Okay, so why it is not accepting? Okay, now try to hit from R1 to this one, 2.1. The packet is coming. If just a minute, flow trace start, diagnose debug flow trace start. Okay, I will show you later how that why it is not coming. Okay, because it will show that the implicity, the policy number 0 implicity denying, like that you will get the message under this. So policy will check it later. Now we just need to know that by default here there is no policy in the firewall that allowed to come in this port number 2 and go via port number 3, or there is no policy applied that the traffic will come via port number 3 and go via port number 5 or port number 4 or port number 1. Like there is no policy, right? Clear? So now if you check the telnet, okay, here ping, if ping, we got the ping, right? Now in this port number 2, port number 3, and this port number 3, which service is allowed? Check it once. So system interface, and check. So system interface port number 3, which service is there? Port number 1, port number 2, and port number 3. So ping HTTP SSH. So I'm just trying to do SSH, okay, from port number from our router 2. Okay, just a minute. So enable SSH hyphen L 192.168.192.168.2.1. So 2.1 with the port number 80. What is this? Let me do the telnet. Telnet is also enable or not? 192.168.2.1. It is trying to reach 2.1. If the service is enabled in the port number 3, port number 2, port number 3, the telnet service is not enabled, so it will not allow, right? So let me config system interface, edit port number 2, 3, and the set allow access, and the telnet, okay, and the end. So now if again the router 2 will hit with the port number 2.1, then this router will get the firewall access, okay. Now it is open and it is asking to access the firewall, right? Admin and the admin. So this router 2 can access this firewall, right? Look, we are in R2 and we are getting console of Fortigate firewall, correct? Clear?
Yes, sir.
So like that you'll get enabled. If the service is enabled, then only you can ping. Okay. Let's suppose in the port number 3. Okay, if from R2 only, I'm just trying to ping. Okay, exit from here. Exit. Okay, we came back to the router 2 and I'm pinging 192.168.3 dot, sorry, 2.1. So I can ping that. Okay, 2.1, right? 192.168.2.1 from R2. Let me check once again whether the so system interface. Okay, 192.168.2.1, the port number 3, and enter port number 3. So port number 3, we just allow telnet, not ping, right? So we again need to configure this ping, config system interface, edit port number 23, and the set allow access at the ping. Okay, ping. So it will this time the firewall, this router can ping it now. Okay, so now we are getting the reachability correct because ping service was not enabled earlier. Now the ping service is enabled, so we are able to reach this. Okay, got it my point? Like that,
Yes,
if
sir.
SSH is enabled, then SSH you will get the SSH service. If the telnet is enabled, then you will get the telnet. Okay, got it, Hojipa?
Yes.
Yes, Hojipa, Moj, are you there? Sajuddin, Guy,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
is it clear?
Thank you.
Is everything useful? Like
Yes.
no clear understanding?
Yeah.
Is it
So the
is it under?
informations are a lot to digest.
Hmm?
Yes,
Is
too
it
much information to digest.
okay? So can we stop now, or can we start? Can we continue? What to do
I
based on your
think
request?
let's let's digest this one first. We'll
Okay,
try to
first you
get
guys. Okay, okay, okay. Right, Moj, Hojipa. Okay, meanwhile, what I'm doing now, I'm just saving this configuration by more action and the console all nodes or VoIP export all CFGs. If I export like this, the configuration will be keep save into this one. Okay. So again, we no need to do the configuration. Again, next time we can start from the same. Okay, no need to assign the IP and no need to do anything on this. Okay. So now I'm just doing the more action and I stop all nodes. Okay. And after this, thank you for joining, and I'm just stopping the recording. You'll get it on the YouTube.